Hi guys, it's me, Angela. Welcome back to my channel. This is the third video I've been in a couple of days. But I was doing some videos last night, and then I came across this morning on Katie Flowers' channel a VR she did to Arwen's 15 question tarot tag, hashtag tarot tag 15. So I thought I would go ahead and knock this out while I was looking at it and thinking about everything. So it's 15 questions about tarot, and here we go. Question 1 is, what is your current favorite deck? And if you've watched any of my channel, you know it's the Lightseers Tarot. I'm addicted to this deck. It is my soul deck, I think. Sabax. When I originally saw this on Lisa from Supportive Tarot, her unboxing of the Kickstarter version, I immediately was drawn to it. Love the edging on it, was like a light green. I have the mass market version, so mine wasn't edged, but I did find a marker to edge it in this gorgeous darker green, which is literally my favorite color, the darker green. And I love it even more because there's a lot of cards in here that have those same kind of colors, like the Hangman. It's like the same kind of green that I edged it with. The Devil card. There's so many dark greens in this, but I'm not going to show you guys too many of these just because it's been everywhere. A few of my favorites that I've been working with here lately. I'm addicted to this deck. I have said before, there's another, like the darker greenish colors, and if you hear whining in the background, that's my dogs. Or one of them, Judgment, also the same greenish look as what I edged it in. The Magician, I'm loving this Magician card. Same colors in the bottom in the water. Just beautiful. This has been my stalker card here lately, and I just did a video on that card. There's more here. The Strength. Love this. This is probably my favorite Strength card in any deck. It's the duality of it all. I love it. Love that card. Love the Seven of Wands. Just the colors are amazing. Amazing. This is my year card, the Lovers, which I've shown it before. The Ten of Swords. Now, from what I've seen on her channel when she did the unboxing of the Kickstarter version, it was a different card. That, from what I've seen, is the only different card in the decks, just because it was very controversial, so she changed it for the mass market version. Which I never had the Kickstarter version, so it doesn't matter to me. I love that card anyway. That's probably my favorite Ten of Swords also. I love the Tower in this one. Love it. Oh, I dropped him. Love the King of Wands. I've been actually pulling him a lot lately. There's just so much strength in that card. Yeah. So much strength. I've been pulling the Wheel a lot lately. Love that card too. And I'm actually really loving the Page of Swords. There's so much in that speaks to me on that card. I'm really loving the Eight of Cups. And the blues in that is just crazy. I don't like this Three of Swords just because it seems so dark to me. So dark. But it does give good messages regardless. The World. Love that. And again, my greens are in there. I'm pulling the Nine of Swords a lot lately too. And I think that's just because so much uncertainty in the world right now that everybody's having bad dreams, everybody's anxious, nervous, and I think that's why that's been getting pulled a lot lately, because the whole world is in turmoil right now. Love this Two of Cups. And that's my dog running out now. As soon as I start the video, of course. Five of Cups, again, more of the greenish blue of my edging. The Fool, same colors. Love this Fool. Two of Swords. Love that. Death cards, one of my favorite death cards ever, because to me it is not about death, it's about rebirth. And a certain death has to happen in order for you to grow and be reborn. And I love that about that card. Like I said, I could go on and on and on forever. This Four of Cups is supposed to be sad, but with all the beautiful colors, it doesn't make me feel sad. And the Chariot. That is my soul card, by the way. Still haven't figured that one out. So, yes, that is my favorite current deck. And I've been working with this exclusively the last 2 months. Everything I do, I pull with this deck. And I love it. So, number 2, what card do you think stands for who you are now? And I've actually said this recently, but I'm always drawn to the Hermit. I'm an introvert. If I could stay home, they told us, I got work furloughed. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to be quarantined, and just that's my dream. Honestly, I could stay home and never go anywhere. But yeah, that's the card I'm usually drawn to. I find it shifting a little bit here since I've started my spiritual journey, but that has always been the card I've always been drawn to in a deck. Number 3, what card stands for who you want to be? And that would be the High Priestess. I want to know all the knowledge that she knows. I want to be able to meditate and be one with the universe, and that's what that card says to me. I don't know whether it's me being a Virgo or going through all this, my awakening process and everything, or a combination of everything, but I strive to be the High Priestess in any deck. Yeah. So then it says number 4, draw a card and tell us how it answers the question, what does the universe want me to know right now? And this deck shuffles amazing. Hear that? It's great. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. Okay. And we pulled Justice. And I pulled that a lot in the last couple months. It says, what does the universe want me to know right now? And with it being Justice, and I find it ironic that every time I've pulled a card for someone that has this type of question, the Justice card is the one pulled. And to me, it's literally all about balancing, whether it be light or dark, because it seems like a darker version of her kind of trying to push the sword out while she's balancing her buckets on the sword. To me, as every time I see this card, it is about balance, maybe between light and dark, good and evil, finding balance within yourself. So yeah, that's what I see in that card. So number 5, Do you have any cards that you must love in order to work with a deck? And I just shuffled them all back in there because I had it out. So let me find it real quick. And my dog is staring at me now. I'm whining. Oh, there it is. So I went on this self-discovery kind of thing when I started learning tarot and buying tarot decks. And I came to the realization pretty quickly that I was stacking a card. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. I had to pause it and take the dog out because she lost her mind. So anyway, we're back to, do you have any cards that you must love in order to work with a tarot deck? And as I was saying prior to her interruption, was ever since I started the spiritual journey and I started buying tarot decks, I kind of realized pretty quickly that I was in fact stocking a card. And for some reason, it is the card that in every deck I look at or think about buying, I have to see this card. And it is the Eight of Swords. This is probably will always be my favorite depiction of the Eight of Swords just because it has the mirror in it. I really resonate with the Eight of Swords just because I was her at one point in time. This is how she actually is. This is how she sees herself. And she doesn't realize that she has options. She has choices that she can make to stop looking that way. So, to stop feeling like there's nowhere to go or that she's blind to things. And this is the reason I got this deck. I didn't even care at that point if I ever used the deck. I wanted this card. Just because I have since moved away from this, and I've only, up until probably 3 weeks ago, I never even pulled this card from any deck. It's just for some reason this, and I knew once I got this deck why I was so infatuated with this card, because I saw so much of myself in her, the past me. And yeah, that's why that is answer to that one. That was number 5. Number 6, why tarot and not some other divination system? And who's to say I don't? I just really started my tarot journey. I have used pendulums. I do have several. I do have my favorite right here. And I've showed this before on my channel. It's got angel wings up here. Several different stones. It's got a little bobble on the end. But yeah, I got into pendulums really bad for a minute there. For some reason, they were coming to me. I only bought like 4 or 5, but I have 13. So yeah. But this is my favorite. It actually has helped me find my keys a couple different times because apparently I keep losing my keys. But yeah, it is awesome. This pendulum, this is my baby. So yeah, and I do, because I am on this spiritual journey, I am trying to open up all my gifts and my abilities and trying to be a medium. I feel like it is my duty to go through all these divination processes and find out what works for me. That is the only 2 I've used. I'm not saying I won't use any other divination forms. I just feel right now this is what I'm doing. So yeah, there's the answer to 6. Number 7. What is the first book you can remember reading about tarot other than the Little White Book? Now I do have one book that didn't come with a deck. Tarot for Yourself. And I thought I had it sitting here. I don't. Oh, actually, my camera's sitting on it, so never mind. But that is the one book I bought. I bought it in December, or the end of November, for maybe the end of December, to just enhance my trying to learn to read tarot. But the first book I actually started reading came with the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith deck that I have. that I don't use because I don't resonate with it. But the book is heavy and amazing, and it has 264 pages, and there's so much on each, and I just keep opening up to the index. So much on each page. It's crazy. It says, when contemplating the meaning of the star, ask yourself, and then it's got questions you can ask, things you can meditate on, quick meanings upright, quick meanings for the reverse. It's got quick keywords here that you can use for just a quick lookup if you needed to. It actually has a message from the star. This is just my example, but each one has a little message from the character in each card. And it's awesome. Really awesome. It gives you several different spreads, several different ways to work with the cards. This is probably my favorite page in here because for the longest I kept confusing the elements with the different suits. And this gives you a brief breakdown of every suit and why it's tied to the element it's tied to. It really helped me out. It gives you a breakdown of the court cards. Then it goes into the major arcana cards. It's just, yeah, if nothing else, if you're like me and you don't read Rider-Waite-Smith, this is still a great starter book. How to ask questions with the tarot, getting answers with the tarot, how to do readings. It breaks it down. This is a chunky, thick, heavy book. So that was the first book I actually started reading. I'm going to show you this one just because it's a Tarot Illuminati. I love it. It doesn't look nearly as thick as the other one, but it's got some meat to it. But what I love about this one, it actually has like a little short story of each card from like the Chariot, and it's ironic that that's my soul card, and that's where I opened it up. It's got a little messages from each of these court card or the major arcana. It does still have a little for the minors as well. Little thing here. And you know what? I'm going to read because I did a thing on the Three of Swords that it was like the first time I channeled anything. But what prompted that or spurred that little thing on was what was written in here about the Three of Swords. And I was like, it had me feeling all sorts of ways. So I'm going to read that to you real quick. The Three of Swords, and I didn't pull the book out, or the cards out, but that's the card. It's beautiful. Probably one of my favorite Three of Swords ever. Three of Swords, the existential sorrowing. At the dawning of mankind, there was suffering. The moment life began, so did pain. Even the universe cried out in the throes of birth to bring the earth, sun, and moon into existence. This is the nature of things, to hurt and be hurt. There are those that would keep the truth of the world from you, keep your eyes from seeing the reality of humankind's existence. These are your enemies. They would halt your understanding and keep you as an infant, blind and ignorant. They would let you believe you are immortal and invulnerable, making you forget that humanity itself, even more so you, are but brief shadows passing over the face of the earth, and the earth is but a brief shadow passing through the waters of the universe. You are as nothing, but know it truly, and the nothingness will not matter. This is the sorrow that teaches harshly, the sorrow that mothers in its pain, the sorrow that reveals the truth. And wow. It was written by Kim Huggins. Eric C. Dunn is the creator of the deck. And she is just, I love it. I love that book because of that. But yeah, I've read that all the way through a couple times because of that. So that's really the first book I really read all the way through. I'm still going through this one, but this one is great too. So yeah, I did a little cheat. I'm sorry, but I had to read that one. Number 8. What tarot person would you like to sit down and chat tarot with? And only like 2 people came to mind, so I'm just gonna say them: Ethany, and Lisa from Support Tarot. They do very involved, in-depth videos. I love their videos. I watch them all the time. So yeah, it'd be nice to talk to them in person about all this stuff. So yeah, that's number 8. Number 9, tell me about a tarot channel you watch. And I just said that. I watch Lisa all the time. I don't necessarily watch Ethany's as much as I want to, but I do catch Lisa's a lot. And she's at Support Tarot, and Ethany is just Ethany on. Everybody knows who that is. Number 11, do you mix oracle decks in when you read tarot? Once in a while, I will pull if the message that I'm looking at is unclear, I will pull a oracle card from my Sacred Rebels oracle deck, just to see if it can clarify things, and it usually does. So yeah, but it's only when it's rare that I do that, just because if I'm called to do it, I'll do it. If not, then I won't. Number 12, have you ever created your own card or deck? No and no. I have 3 cards that a perfect visual came to mind on what specific cards, 3 different specific cards were in my mind. I'm not an artist. I can't even draw a stick figure, so I will have to find somebody to create this card from what I'm seeing out of it in my mind, if I would decide to do that. But it's something right now I'm not called to do. Who knows later down the road? We'll see. 13, do you read for yourself? Every day. I pull a card of the day every day. That may not necessarily be for me, but it could be because I think by now Spirit knows that I'm posting it somewhere. So it could be me being used as a channel to get a message to someone else. So yeah, I've started doing like a couple times a week at night. I'll pull a night spread, just because I'm learning the spreads, because I've never done spreads before. I usually just throw a couple cards down, and what I got was what I got. So now I'm actually putting it in a type of order, routine, where I'm actually learning spreads. So yeah. And what are your favorite questions to be asked when you read for someone else? That's number 14. I've only started really reading for other people the last few weeks. I know the relationship thing comes up a lot. A lot has come up about, am I going to keep my job when this is all over, when the virus decides to start dissipating? But my favorite is when they don't ask questions, when they ask for just a general reading, because then I feel like I'm allowing my intuitiveness, my intuition to step up to the plate and take over. And when I'm writing out, or because I usually do for a couple people on Facebook, these groups I follow, when I actually do it on there, it's almost like when I'm writing what I'm seeing or feeling in the deck, I'm not even like half of it. I'm aware. I'm there and I'm aware, but I'm not. Like someone else is writing it. And every time so far, I've been, according to the recipients, dead on with things. There's even a couple times where people are shocked that I'm seeing something in the cards that they were almost afraid that someone would see. Not that it's bad, just because not everybody wants you completely in their business, and that's the things I was picking up. But they appreciated the fact that I was cool about it, and I didn't make it a big deal. I was just like, this is what we can, what I see. This is from my experience, what you can do to make it better. I know I've seen a lot of, I've done like 3 or 4 readings the last couple of days, and they're all swords. I just think because of the way the country is right now, the world is right now, a lot of people are having a lot of bad dreams. They're having a lot of anxiety, and that is coming up in when I'm doing readings in the swords. Just because the way people are feeling about everything going on in the world, and that's the times I like to take the time to say, hey, if you're on work furlough like I am, or take this time to stay indoors, which we're supposed to be doing anyway, so you're not being infected, you're not infecting your family, you're not infecting someone else, and you take this time to do you, go deep within yourself and really just dig deep and see, meditate, write, do whatever it is that keeps you upbeat and positive, because that's what we need in this world right now. So yeah, that is my answer to number 14. So 15, what is the craziest thing that has happened to you in a reading? And I don't know, honestly. If we're talking readings for me, I've only had one tarot reading ever. And it was actually dead on. It kind of ticked me off because it was something I already knew, but I didn't want to face. And of course, that was the thing that came up in the cards. And the cards, it was like Spirit was like, yeah, we've been telling you, listen. So yeah, that's probably the craziest thing is the reading I had done for myself or had someone read for me. The one I've had done. Reading I've done for someone else, probably the craziest is, and it was actually more of a mediumistic, because the medium part of me was seeing things clairvoyantly. I was being fed this information and I reiterated it to this person, and they're like, oh my God, like, how are you seeing this? So then I did a spread, and I was actually seeing in the vision I was having a river, the side of a river that was, um, I felt like it was in New Orleans, and it was calm, sunny day, and it was kind of winding. So I actually pulled the spread from my Tarot of the Secret Forest, and what just really had me like, oh crap, was the last card. I did 3-card spread. The last card I pulled was of the, I think it's a 5 of Swords. It's a river in this deck. Let me see if I can pull it real quick. Find it. But it was the exact vision I had seen. Exact river I had seen in my vision. So the cards were, and then I did a directional spread because it was about someone missing, someone in the family was missing. And come to find out, they lived in New Orleans. All the things that I was seeing in my vision, basically, she said I was the 6 of Swords. Yeah, so that's the exact image, except for the black here. But it's funny because now that I'm seeing this, because when I saw the vision, I was seeing the water. All this would be like the water in it, but it kind of wound like this, but all the water was black. But it was a nice sunny day, so this part wasn't there. But the bottom of this was exactly what I had seen in my vision. And it kind of almost made me drop the cards when I pulled that out and was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So then I did a directional spread with the same deck. And basically the directional spread was exactly pinpointing to New Orleans. And I was like, this is crazy. I gave her the information. I still don't know if she's found this person or not. I hope she has. But that was the tarot was reaffirming everything that I was seeing. So that's probably literally the craziest thing when I gave a reading out that I've ever seen or probably will ever see, because literally everything that I was seeing in the vision came up in the cards. So yeah, that was nuts. So yeah, that was number 15. And that's it for this video. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks.